Long before the towering temples of Angkor became silent ruins hidden beneath thick jungle vines, they stood at the heart of one of the greatest civilizations ever to rise in Southeast Asia. Travelers who crossed the forests of Cambodia centuries after its decline could hardly believe what they saw. Massive stone gateways carved with astonishing precision emerged from the trees, endless galleries stretched into the distance, and majestic towers pierced the sky like mountains crafted by human hands. Nature had reclaimed much of the city, wrapping giant roots around temples and covering ancient roads with moss, yet the scale of its construction hinted at a civilization of extraordinary wealth, knowledge, and ambition. These explorers struggled to imagine how such a magnificent metropolis could have disappeared so completely. The local people remembered only fragments of old stories passed down through generations, speaking of mighty kings who had ruled for centuries before vanishing into history. That forgotten city was Angkor, once the glorious capital of the Khmer Empire, a civilization that transformed the landscape of Cambodia into one of the greatest engineering achievements of the medieval world. At its height, Angkor covered an area larger than many modern cities, and supported a population estimated at nearly 1 million people, making it one of the largest urban centers on Earth. Long before European capitals reached comparable sizes, the Khmer had already mastered advanced architecture, hydraulic engineering, agriculture, and state administration. Their temples, reservoirs, and canals demonstrated an understanding of mathematics, astronomy, and construction techniques that still amaze historians today. But the story of Angkor is not only about remarkable achievements. It is also a story of resilience, ambition, political struggle, environmental challenges, and the gradual transformation of an empire that once appeared unstoppable. The Khmer people had lived in mainland Southeast Asia for thousands of years, developing their own language, traditions, and agricultural practices while absorbing cultural influences from neighboring civilizations. Indian merchants and scholars brought with them Hindu beliefs, Sanskrit literature, and new political ideas that blended with local customs to create a unique Khmer identity. Rather than simply copying foreign traditions, the Khmer adapted them, creating a civilization unlike any other in the region. Their rulers embraced the concept of divine kingship, presenting themselves as earthly representatives of the gods whose responsibility was to maintain harmony between heaven, nature, and society. This belief strengthened royal authority and united many scattered communities under a single political system. In the early 9th century, a determined ruler named Jayavarman II emerged during a period when Cambodia was divided among competing local kingdoms. Through diplomacy, military campaigns, and strategic alliances, he gradually unified these territories into a single kingdom that would become the Khmer Empire. His coronation marked more than the rise of a new king. It symbolized the birth of an independent state capable of shaping the future of Southeast Asia. Jayavarman established the foundations upon which later rulers would build one of history's most remarkable civilizations. His successors expanded the kingdom, strengthened administration, improved agriculture, and encouraged large-scale construction projects that reflected both religious devotion and political power. Every new king sought to surpass the achievements of those before him, constructing larger temples, grander palaces, and increasingly sophisticated water systems. Unlike many ancient civilizations that relied solely on rivers, the Khmer developed an intricate network of reservoirs, canals, embankments, and spillways capable of controlling seasonal floods while storing water for the dry months. This hydraulic system transformed the fertile plains surrounding Angkor into one of the most productive agricultural landscapes in the medieval world. Rice harvests flourished, supporting rapid population growth and generating enormous wealth that financed monumental architecture and expanding trade networks. Merchants traveled from China, India, and distant kingdoms, exchanging silk, ceramics, spices, precious metals, ivory, exotic woods, and rare luxury goods. Angkor became not only a political capital, but also a thriving economic center connected to international trade routes stretching across Asia. Visitors arriving at the city would have encountered broad roads, impressive bridges, bustling marketplaces, and magnificent temples decorated with intricate carvings depicting gods, warriors, dancers, and scenes from mythology. The empire's prosperity depended upon careful organization. Local officials collected taxes, supervised agricultural production, maintained irrigation systems, and ensured that resources flowed steadily toward the royal capital. Religious institutions also played an essential role in administration, education, and social life, serving as centers of learning where priests preserved knowledge and performed ceremonies believed to protect the kingdom. The king stood at the center of this system, viewed not merely as a political ruler, but as the symbolic guardian of cosmic order. His legitimacy rested on his ability to provide stability, prosperity, and successful harvests. As long as the fields remained fertile and the temples continued to rise, confidence in the monarchy remained strong. Yet beneath this impressive success lay hidden vulnerabilities. The empire's growing population demanded ever greater agricultural production, requiring continuous maintenance of canals and reservoirs. Forests were cleared to create new farmland, increasing pressure on the environment. Monumental building projects required enormous labor forces and vast quantities of stone transported across long distances. Although these achievements demonstrated extraordinary organization, they also tied the empire's survival to an increasingly complex system that demanded constant maintenance and stable leadership. For generations, capable rulers managed these challenges successfully, allowing the Khmer Empire to expand across much of present-day Cambodia, Thailand, Laos, and southern Vietnam. Few civilizations of the medieval world could rival its influence or architectural brilliance. Yet history repeatedly shows that the same strengths capable of creating greatness can also become sources of vulnerability. As Angkor reached the height of its power, the foundations that had supported centuries of prosperity slowly began to face pressures unlike anything the empire had experienced before, setting in motion a chain of events that would ultimately transform one of history's greatest cities into a silent monument reclaimed by the jungle.